Hello ladies and gentlemen, vBlackWolf here, and today we're going to talk about silver characters. Because silver characters are the hardest characters to max out other than legendary characters, because their gears do not drop from rate, so you'll have to take them from 0 to 60, or to 70 maybe. So we're going to talk about which characters are and which characters are not worth this investment. And yeah, we're going to have them separated in tiers, and with the lowest two tiers I'm going to just briefly talk about the whole category. And with the higher three tiers we're going to get in depth, because basically with the top 5 characters we're going to get in depth a little bit and talk a little bit more about each and explain my points on them. So yeah, with that being said, if you do enjoy this video, please do like, comment, subscribe and share, it really does help a lot, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the dumpster fire tier, and yes, there's some characters here which we could make an argument that they are decent, like I guess only Silver Green Arrow and maybe something that has a shield like Gorlagrod. But for the most part, those characters either are just pure garbage or are going to do something that other characters simply do better, so you would have no reason to build them and just build the characters that do something better. For example, Silver Green Arrow is just a worse version of Multiverse Green Arrow, for example, or Ace Green Arrow. For example, Silver Wonder Woman is just a worse version of Mythic Wonder Woman or Warrior Queen Wonder Woman. So for the most part, you'll have no reason to build those and no reason to pretty much use those at any point in time. Okay, now let's move on to the higher tier. Okay, now I made a separate tier for those characters because it's called Still Nope. And keep in mind, this is by no means a tier list about the best characters, but in this tier we got some characters that, even though you shouldn't build, are worth mentioning because they are going to fulfill a role of a support character. We got Bane, giving you crit chance and damage on basic attacks, which is great. We got Silver Aquaman, which is going to give you stun resistance for each my teammate, which is going to be situationally useful. We got Silver Green Lantern, which is going to give you a shield based on your health, great support for Manta. And we got Silver Flash, which is going to give your team some fast actions. Those are characters that are going to be useful as support characters in your teams, and you should definitely use them when you need to use them. But at the same time, building them will literally not bring you any benefits. So having a no gears Bane will give you the same benefit in a team as having a level 60 gears Bane. So the only reason why you would build them is for the purpose of having fun, I guess. But yeah, do not build those, but definitely use those. That's why they are worth mentioning. Okay, so now we're getting in the area where we talk about characters that... there's just 2 characters in this tier. I kinda call the tier yes and no, because those characters would, in theory, be worth building if you needed tanks for anything, but yeah, they're both going to be tanks starting with Superman. They're going to be pretty good tanks. But the thing is, in this game, you do not need tanks because there's no game mode in the game that's demanding of tanks, unless they can build combo fast, and none of those characters can. But hey, they can tank a lot of damage. Superman is going to have the passive making him invulnerable, or that's at the very least the name of the passive, and will give you at level 5, I think it's a 50% chance to ignore damage on basic attacks, and will give you some defense for your team. And this is a great passive. This is going to help him mitigate a lot of damage, and when you do ignore a basic attack, you're going to be able to combo interrupt the enemy and pretty much give them a hard time, and this guy is particularly annoying to fight against. So yeah, do avoid him, new players out there with new accounts. And he's going to have a super shield, so overall, this guy is a pretty solid tank, and you could make the argument of building him because he's a solid tank. But at the same time, you can't really make the argument for building any tanks, because tanks are not worth it in this game, because right now we don't have any demanding game mode for tanks. The only game mode where you would need tanks is Arena and Champions Arena, and those game modes you can get by with the teams that you have built for Raids and Steroids. So while in theory, this would be a character that might be worth building if we needed tanks, we do not need tanks. Okay, so over here we're going to have Cyborg, which is pretty much going to be the same story as Superman. He's going to have a passive that will give some health to the team, though that's not important, but the important fact is that he's going to regenerate a lot of health while he's out of combat. And pretty much, if you have this dude, you can get infinite value out of him, and make him tank a lot of damage, tag out, regenerate it all back, and then tag back in to tank some more for you. This is pretty much in theory infinite value in terms of health, this making him an amazing tank actually. The only other character that I know of with regeneration like this is Martian Manhunter, and this is, let's say, a budget Martian Manhunter in terms of being tanky that way. But yet again, the thing is, you don't need that and you don't need to build tanks. If we needed to build tanks in this game and there was a game mode, or there will be in the future a game mode that's demanding of tanks, then you could consider building Cyborg, but until then, still a big nope. Okay, now we're moving up a bit, and this is going to be called the maybe tier. Those are two characters that at the same time you could get some benefit from building, but at the same time you could get away with doing the absolute most damage in the game and having the absolute best roster, but not having them built. So Batman is going to have a passive called Ambush, giving him some and his teammates some crit chance, so he's going to be a good support character in terms of that. He's going to have a high enough damage, so you can build him as a budget damage dealer with his special tree, and he's going to have a stun bomb. And because of the crit on the passive, is actually going to be a great support for Justice League Superman, giving him a lot of attack because he's also a Batman character and Justice League Superman benefits from that. So either way, build or not build, this dude is going to be on the top 6 teams for Dawn of Apocalypse or Raids. But the thing is, he doesn't need to be built to do that. The only reason you might consider building him is if you want to use him as the damage dealer. And I could see why some people would enjoy that, and even though I do not personally recommend it, you can't really go that wrong with building Silver Batman, I guess. Just make sure he's not the first character that you build, but he's going to be a decent budget damage dealer for the time being. So yeah, that's the reason why you might want to build him, but yet again, not recommended. This guy is just a maybe. Okay, so we got over here Robin, the silver one. None of his abilities do pretty much anything except for his passive, and this guy is very underestimated usually. His passive is going to give him a chance for his basic attacks to count as 2. And you might be like, oh wow, he's got some fast attack chance, that's amazing. Nah, actually, this dude is got some thing additional to fast attack chance. So you might have some fast attack chance on him, that making him build 2 combo at a time, and when the passive triggers, that triggers on top of the fast attack chance and procs the basic combo twice. So for example, you do a normal hit, you do 1 for combo. You do a normal hit plus the passive, you do 2 for combo, as if you had some fast attack chance. You do a basic attack that's also a fast attack chance and also triggers the passive, then boy oh boy, you got 4 hits over there, which is great. So this guy is going to be, in terms of just building raw combo, one of the best characters of building combo fast, but at the same time, he's not really needed in any of the soul raid teams. Or raid teams. He's never close to the top 5 teams. But if you want to build something that's, let's say, off meta or the next best thing, and you can't spare to use, let's say, a reverse flash as a combo builder because he's going with Silver Banshee, then Silver Robin is going to be kind of the next best thing as a combo builder if you want to build kind of a weird team or play, for example, Black Adam or something like that, and you really can't spare your top combo builders that are fitted in a team, but you really need another one. So yet again, you could have the best performance in the game without ever touching this character, but there's some benefit to building him at the end of the day. Yet again, I do not necessarily recommend building him, but he is a maybe. Now let's get to the last character on this tier. Okay, so I guess it's not a surprise to anyone. Dr. Fate is going to be on the top of the list, and he is the only silver character that's truly, really worth building. Like, you can't go wrong with building Dr. Fate. The thing about Dr. Fate is, like him or not, he's going to be there. He's always going to be there in the King team. The other support is going to change. You might have sometimes Shazam, you might have Red Hood, you might have Classic Superman, you might have whatever you want at that point, but Dr. Fate is going to be there because he needs to reduce the cost of King's abilities. And if he's there anyway, why not also build him as a combo builder for King? And at the same time, he's going to have an infinite combo if you equip him with the Firebox, which is going to make him a great combo builder. And basically, as I said, he's going to be there, so you might as well have him build as a combo builder, because you kind of have to choose between him and Shazam. Shazam is not always there, and at the same time Shazam can randomly trigger a special tree and ruin your pace of the battle and make you lose damage. So Dr. Fate is the best option you got. It's not like he's got 3 fast attack hits or anything like that. He's got just 2 fast attack hits, but at the same time you're simply to a point where you have no other options, and the fact that he's got an infinite combo if you equip the Firebox actually makes him a great combo builder. Should you build him straight to level 60 gears? Not really. Like, I find him useful enough at level 40 gears for now. But if you want to make him a tank for phase 3, tier 8, which is something that requires a lot of investment. So yeah, for phase 3, there's some people, some mad lads, who are using Dr. Fate and Shazam as tanks there. And that's amazing because they have both Dr. Fate and Shazam at level 70 gears, maxed out, and they barely survived the entire fight because phase 3 is crazy. So yeah, for that you can even take him all the way to level 70 gears, but take it slow. Prioritize your damage dealers, but eventually this guy is not going to, you can't go wrong with him, and he looks pretty damn cool at level 60 gears. So yeah, with all being said, this is by no means a tier list yet again, though it's in a way. To an extent, it can be regarded as a tier list, but that's not really fair to the characters that are in the still nope tier, because they're pretty damn strong characters, but you just get no benefit from building them. Hope you found this useful. Please do not build Silver Harley or Silver something, unless it's for the memes. And with all being said, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.